Hello and welcome back to Sonny Talk Spurs, and today we're going to talk about the injury crisis which could be on the cards at Tottenham Hotspur this season. But before we get into the video, if you are new around here, why don't you leave a like, subscribe to Sonny Talk Spurs and hit the notification bell because it lets you know when I've gone live. Now, let's get into the video. Now, a lot of my videos since I launched have been quite positive, and we've got right to be positive. The team are top of the league. We're back from an international break now, and we're going to play Fulham very, very soon. But I want to air some of my worries because coming off the back of this international break, we as Tottenham Hotspur fans have been worried and just really panicking that all our star-studded players are fully fit and ready to continue this Premier League season. And even Tottenham Tears, they tweeted last night a little injury update on some of our star assets. So Tottenham Tears were quoting Dan Kilpatrick, and they said, an injury update for Fulham. Romero, confident of being able to play. Son is not considered a doubt. Sarr resumed training for Spurs despite ice pack for Senegal. Spurs hopeful Brennan Johnson will feature. Gil and Lo Celso are eyeing first minutes. So yeah, honestly, it's been a topic of conversation this international break about injuries and the Tottenham Hotspur team. But the most notable three are, three who I've included in the thumbnail. James Maddison played some minutes for England, but his injury record is not amazing. But I'll probably get onto that as I dissect the team. But the big two were Son and Romero. Son obviously playing a 90-minute game for South Korea against Vietnam and, looking in severe agony as he came off at half-time at the whistle and then came out and scored a goal and got an assist. Jurgen Klinsmann, basically, former Spurs striker, not doing us any favours. And then there was Cristian Romero who came off as a sub because he had a bit of an injury as well. So, not amazing when you come to think of it. Tottenham this season, we have not got any European football. We are now out of the Carabao Cup. There are not many minutes, apart from Premier League minutes for players to contest for. But when I'm looking very far ahead, we've got AFCON coming up. We've got players that haven't returned from long-term injuries like Bentancur. We've got a lot to consider and a very threadbare squad, which worries me completely because now, and I've been saying this, I'm a regular feature on the Irish Hotspur weekly podcast, so go and check that out if you haven't already after this video. But we were talking in that video about injuries and the first team, and I raised the point there. Our starting lineup now is amazing and has been working wonders with the team, but if I pick each individual player out, their replacement in the squad is far, far weaker. And we're going to see this soon with Basuma. Basuma is banned for a game, and he's still got the yellow card thing to, delve into when he's back from this first suspension. So we're going to see what this different dynamic is. But even look, Vicario, his replacement would be Forster. Massive drop down. Destiny Udogie, his replacement is Ben Davis. Massive drop down. The centre-backs are key, pivotal, amazing relationship already. I've done a video on Mickey van der Ven, so go and check that out as well afterwards. But, we lose one of them two. Who do we bring in? Ashley Phillips, Alfie Dorrington, some youngsters, or Eric Dyer. I mean, I love the youngsters to bits in this Tottenham youth setup, but it's a very much, chucking them in at the deep end. Pedro Porro, Emerson Royale comes in, but he's sort of Pedro Porro has made that right back spot his place. And then we have the midfield. Sarr, Basuma have been amazing. They've been fantastic. And Bentancur's not really fit. Skip's not really showing much promise. Højbjerg's a big drop down. He's probably going to come in and have to, take that role in the next few games with Basuma. Maddison, as I mentioned, not an amazing injury record. At Leicester, I don't think there's many times he played a full 38-game season. And we even saw in the North London derby when his leg went the wrong way and we were all panicking. And yeah, Kulusevski. We've got Brennan Johnson, but Brennan Johnson is currently injured. We've got Manor Solomon's out with an injury. Even Perisic is out with an injury. Son is currently, nursing an injury. We don't know how long that's going to take. And Richarlison, same there. But now it's come into my head. Basuma's injury record isn't amazing. So, yeah, it's really worrying times when it comes to, making sure these players are gift-wrapped you know, for the season to come, because they've got to be protected. You know, there's another international break this year, one more, and then there's not one till March. But honestly, get these international breaks out the way. We need something, because our second string, our deadwood, is just not good enough to replace our current players. And we've just got to really protect them and make sure, you know, everything's sorted. Even like, I'm a bit confused that we're playing a Monday night game against Fulham and then Friday against Palace. Luckily, they're London games. We don't have to travel too far. But I find that a bit weird, the scheduling. It does not help the players whatsoever. And, you know, it's a bit disheartening, because I'm really baffled and impressed with how Spurs have been this season under Ange Postecoglou. And we have currently got a starting team. I remember Conte and Jose would rotate. We didn't have the same back line. It was different game by game. But now we seem to have a coherent starting lineup. And that's what you want. You know, that's how you compete at the level, you know, having a good lineup. But then you have a couple of players who can come in and take the heavy load off of the others, you know, whether it's injury or not. But, you know, some of those names that I've mentioned, you know, you take a Van de Ven out, you take a Basuma out, you take a Maddison out, you take a Son out. That's key assets. That's your spine. That's your defensiveness. That's your key passing in the middle. That's your creativity. And that's your goal scoring. All key factors in Ange's team. And, you know, we've seen, even when he rotated Ange in the Cup against Fulham, some of the second string can't yet play Ange ball. And that's, you know, people will say, why not chuck him in and give him minutes? But I've not seen any progress from some of them. And, you know, maybe we could bleed them in a bit, but it's just not clicking with some of them. And we've just really got to be careful, because maybe we do need to rest some of the key players in smaller games. But then again, is there a small game left in the Premier League? It is pretty much, you know, always thick and fast. Every fixture's intense. Every team, you know, they're dying to pick up points here, there and everywhere. So yeah, just thought I'd air my concerns on Tottenham's current injury, I'm not going to say crisis, because it's not, you know, but we're teetering on the edge of, you know, something needs to happen. I think Sonny is one of the most important ones. I mean, some of the scenes of him in the career game, I was just like, what is going on here? Klinsmann, do us a favour. You're meant to be lily white. Honestly, just really, really worrying. And, you know, Maddison, luckily, they seem to be nursing them well. It seems that, like, you know, they're being monitored in training a lot, and the fitness department and the medical department are sort of making sure these players are being looked after. But yeah, honestly, just concern. And I for one, when I'm making this argument, know that a lot of the fan base will agree with me. It's just very, very, you know, got to remain positive. Got to remain positive. But let me know in the comments down below. Are you worried about a potential injury crisis at Tottenham? Are we 1 or 2 injuries away from a disaster? The end of days, the season basically curtailing for us and dropping down the league? Or do you think, you know, we have enough? Can the players that I mentioned, maybe your Højbjergs, actually step up and step in when needed? Let me know all your thoughts in the comments down below. And if you have enjoyed, leave a like on the video, subscribe to Sonny Talk Spurs, and hit that notification bell, because it lets you know when I've gone live. And as I said, I've been Sonny, and I'll see you pretty soon, and a ciao.